Good evening, YouTube. Tonight in this vlog I'm going to talk about metaphor elicitation, what it is and how you use it. So for this activity I'm going to go to Giant and I'm going to walk you through the store and talk about metaphor elicitation. So just walked out the door and it's a beautiful night out, you know, crisp, cool, 50 degrees or so, sweater weather, and nice night for a drive and some groceries. So I just got in the car, I'm about to drive over to Giant. And I was thinking, if I was an interviewer conducting a metaphor elicitation interview, some things that I want to ask my interviewee are things like, what do you bring into the grocery store? And I want to ask vague questions like, why do you bring those things? What do they do for you? You don't want to ask too specific of questions because then they could give away, they could kind of lean to biases that you're proposing instead of giving an open answer that they thought. So for example, I might ask, why do you bring such a long and organized grocery list? And the answer might be something to the extent of, I like to have everything written out clearly so that I can see what I'm going to buy and I'm able to plan fully my trip so that I don't spend a lot of time there. If I had asked something like, is the grocery list long and thought out so that you don't have to go back separately during the week, they might answer a yes or no to that, and I'll get a lot less information had I answered with the former question instead of the latter. So I just pulled into Giant, and before I leave, gotta make sure I bring the mask. You know, we're in a pandemic, so everything you do help the community counts. So the first thing on my list is bananas, and as you can see there's a wide variation of bananas, and I think I'm gonna take these 3. If I was doing a metaphor elicitation interview for a brand like Chiquita, I would ask myself questions saying, why did you select those bananas? And I give a metaphor elicitation response. I wouldn't ask a question like, oh, did you get those bananas because they're more yellow and you're going to eat there soon? Because that could kind of dictate my answer through the interviewer's bias, so I wouldn't want to do that for a good metaphor elicitation. So the next thing on my list is bread, and as you can see, there's about a million options to choose from here. But what I think I'm going to go with is the Myers Premium Italian bread. It's a bread I get every time. So if I were in the bread industry and I was doing a metaphor elicitation interview, I might ask the customer why they bought Myers bread over the hundreds of other colorful packages, and I would try to ask questions such as, what is it about that bread that made you pick it over the others, and what do you use the bread for? I wouldn't try to ask questions that, you know, kind of assume. I might hope for a response that invokes a metaphor, something that says, oh, the bread is as fluffy as a cloud, and that would tell me that the consumer likes our product because of the texture of it that we specifically designed to attract customers like that. And it would let us know that our business practice is working and we've gotten positive. The next thing on my list is chicken breasts, so let's grab some of those. These ones look like a good weight in a good sized package. I might want to know, if I was the one selling the chicken, would be, why did you select the store brand chicken over all the other brands? And my answer would be that it's a lower price than the other ones. It's $3 a pound, which is by far the best price, and there's really not a substantial difference in the product. All the other chicken is just, you know, regular chicken, so there's not really an incentive to pay more money for that. And for me as a consumer, I think they're all pretty much the same. I can't taste any differences with GMOs or how the chicken was raised, so that would be the ideal answer for the chicken company that's trying to lead with price costs instead of a different marketing strategy. The next thing on my list is milk, and I'm going to go with the Giant brand of milk again, just because there's lots of brands, but the Giant brand seems just as good as the other brands, and it's less expensive than all of them. You can see this one's $3.33, where a competing brand is $4.29 for the same type of milk. So there's really no reason for me to buy anything but the less expensive type of milk. As a marketer with that kind of information, I would be able to put together that, oh, maybe we should try to have price leadership as our big marketing strategy instead of product differentiation, because no matter how much we differentiate our product, it's still going to be 1% milk. So there's not too much incentive for us to raise the price, because the consumers aren't really going to be interested in it when they can get the store brand for a lot less money and pretty much the same product and the same amount of product. So up next we're going to be grabbing some eggs, and there's a lot of different types of eggs. You know, I have a lot of choices, but I'm going to select the Giant brand extra large eggs over the other Giant brand large white eggs. The reason for me getting the extra large eggs is because I just feel like there's more volume to them, and there's not a big enough price difference where it doesn't become worth it, because when I crack the extra large eggs on the griddle, there's a noticeable larger size amount of egg, and so I get that when I wouldn't have that with just the regular giant brand eggs. So that's a case where the marketing does attract me to the product, because I feel like I notice a difference, and I feel like it's just a better product. So the next thing that I'm looking for is some yogurt that I eat with breakfast every day, and the thing that I'm going to pick is the Chobani vanilla yogurt, because if you look at the nutrition info, there's 14 grams of protein per serving and no fat. That makes this a really good food to, you know, put some nutrition on and get some protein. It's hard to get enough protein without, you know, some superfoods like yogurt. So this is definitely something that I'm going to want. If I was an interviewer and I was doing an interview about why I purchased Chobani yogurt over a different brand, I might ask a question like, how do you feel when you eat this yogurt? And me knowing that it has a lot of protein in it and a lot of probiotics might say that I feel strong when I eat it, because it's just a really good food for you. And I would say that the main reason I bought it was because of the nutritional value, and more so than even that I enjoy the flavor or eating it. It's just a great supplement for living a healthy lifestyle, and so that's what I like about it. So the last thing on my list is some protein powder. This is something that I use every day in smoothies, and it's just a great nutritional value. This product, like the yogurt, is something that I get because I like to have that nutritional supplement more so than I actually enjoy the flavor it adds to the smoothie. It's a way to get a lot of extra protein. This helps if you're working out a lot, and so this is just why I like this. Now with the protein powder, the marketers already know that one of the things that you're looking at is how much protein is in each powder serving, and that's, you know, one of the big eye-catching things on all these labels, and so it's very obvious that they're concerned, and the marketers should care about that, because that's about probably the biggest thing that anyone considers when they're buying a protein powder, is how much actual protein's in it. They're more concerned about that than the flavor that it's going to have, because people don't really eat protein powder to enjoy the flavor of it. They eat it more because of the supplement and the nutritional value that it provides.
Touch the item to purchase. Move your bananas to the bag.
So I just finished shopping. I'm about to drive home. One thing I was thinking is that if I were Giant and I was trying to figure out better how to tailor to the customer's experience of shopping, I might want to do a metaphor elicitation interview with a customer like myself. And so some of the questions I might ask was, how was your experience? Do you find everything that you were looking for? And, you know, I would answer those and give some in-depth answers so that they can try to better understand how to tailor a better experience to their customers. I might also ask questions that are more about the ambience that you might not think about. So they might ask, how was the music during your shopping trip? And I would answer that saying, oh, it was calm music, it was pretty relaxing, it was pretty late at night, close to closing time, so there weren't a lot of people in there, and so it was kind of relaxed music, you know? And they would use that to strategize their marketing plan and play music that better suits the time of day, so that you have, you know, more upbeat, lively music during peak hours, and you have more relaxed music during the taper off hours at the end of the day. So I'm just walking back in with the groceries now, and I just want to say thank you for watching. I hope you learned something from this, and it was a good time. So have a good night.